Hello and welcome to another installment of Low Def Media. My name is Mike, and today got a couple things I want to talk to you about. First, let's talk about this setup real quick because I think this is kind of instrumental, maybe not instrumental, but it's relevant. I like that. It's relevant to our topic today. So I am shooting on the GoPro Hero 7 Black and a Rode VideoGo microphone here. And why? Because number one, first and foremost, this is the low def media channel. And so the purpose of this channel is to come up with low cost alternatives for your technology and fitness needs. And so today I wanted to illustrate that you can do a talking head YouTube video with a GoPro 7 and a VideoGo microphone. So the GoPro, you could probably get this for around $250 or less, probably less, because I saw a GoPro 8 for $229 thereabouts. And so this is this model is a few years old now, but it still shoots 4K. The only thing I don't like about 4K is the way the image warps, because you can only shoot in wide mode. I am shooting in 2.7K, so I can use linear mode, and then if that's showing too much in the frame, I can crop that down, and it'll still be usable. So the Rode VideoGo microphone, I like this because it's got great audio. I normally mount it to the top of the camera. I've got a cage for my GoPro because you have to use the audio adapter. And so it's got a little box for that, so you can store it in there, connect it on the side. But I've decided to use the microphone here to improve my audio. Okay, so that encompasses kind of the premise of the show. This is a very low-cost alternative to creating a podcast. Now, I do have more expensive cameras. I have less expensive cameras, but for today, I wanted to use this to demonstrate that this is a very nice entry point if you want to start your YouTube journey. Now, what is the premise of today's episode? Today, I want to talk to you, and I'm hoping that you will give me some much requested, much needed, much wanted feedback. Because I'm falling into what I think is the creator conundrum. I like that. I think I'm going to coin that, the creator conundrum. And by that, here's what I mean. I watch a lot of content creators on YouTube and on Instagram. And what I find myself doing is, as much as those platforms are great for finding and learning new ways to do things, new tools to create your content with, it can also be a rabbit hole of things to buy. And so for the last week or so, I've really been struggling with purchasing a new tool, a camera, a this, a that, a bag, a selfie stick, a gimbal, something. Because the more I watch, the more I see others using the newest, latest, greatest things. And the two things that are really at the forefront of my mind right now, the GoPro 10, because I have the GoPro 7, it's kind of old, showing its age, and the 10, really cool, right? And so I'm struggling with that, but I'm also tinkering with the Insta360 Go 2, because that just, it's been out for a little while, and when you compare the two, they're very similar. But the thing I like about the Go 2, and this is what I'm really, struggling with, is that no matter what direction you use it, you can frame it for either Instagram profile or Instagram landscape. And I think that's amazing. It's got the magnets and all that. And so I really see the usability of that. But I also, the other product that came out is the DJI Osmo Action 2. Not a fan of that. Do not like it, even though it's very similar. I don't like it because I don't like the way the the media is stored and how you have to try and get it. You've only got the one cube and it stores internally. Then you need another cube in order to connect a USB-C connection to it to get that off. And then you've got the micro USB or the micro, the card that goes in it. So the SD card, micro SD. So the second brick will house that SD card. So now you've got two separate places for your media to be stored, and so it becomes confusing. And if you don't get the right brick that's got the front facing camera, so all that stuff, it's expensive. So I'm not a fan of that. The Go-To, I like. Nice entry point, $299, not bad. And I like how convenient it is to use. And this is kind of bringing me, this story is bringing me to the point. Ease of use. Because what I find is I've got all these tools, all right? Look around my office, I've got tools. I've got things that I want to use for content creation, but here's the problem. I've got them, but then I don't use them. And so I want to create content, but then I'm not deliberate in my planning for how I want to create that content. And so then I end up talking myself out of creating the content, and so I don't do it. So here is my, I guess, this is a good time for New Year's resolutions. So my New Year's resolution, my challenge to myself is to take the tools that I have, not add anything to it, use what I got, and be more deliberate about the content that I create. Usually what I do is, I'll grab this one. It's sitting right here. I'll grab an action cam. This is the Akaso Brave 7LE. Super easy to use. It says 4K, but it really doesn't look all that great. But if you follow my show, you know I have some serious misgivings about this camera, but it's super easy to use. Look how portable that is, all right? And I don't feel so bad about taking this with me because if something happens to it, this was very inexpensive. But if something were to happen to my GoPro, I'd be crushed because I put more into it and I've got more peripherals that I purchased that go with it. And so that would really bother me if something happened to that. Another prime example, and if you watch the channel, then you know, I love this camera. This is my Sony point and shoot. And I love creating content with this. Great audio, decent image. Problem is, and this is where I talk myself out of it, it's only 1080. And I've got cameras that are better than that, so I should use them. But then I'm like, but I don't want to carry a DSLR or my mirrorless to do this. I want something that's very easy and portable. So this is the whole crux of the conversation. Do you do the same thing? Do you buy all the tools but then talk yourself out of using any of the tools, and then you don't create anything? So like right now, I've got a very basic setup. This to me is super simple. This is a point and shoot, basically a point and shoot camera. It's already focused. Everything's on auto. It's not the greatest image. It's not going to be, as good as my mirrorless or my DSLR, but it looks very usable. Great audio. And so I'm creating the content. I'm putting this on video for you. So do you talk yourself out of it? I've also gotten out to where I want to use my phone more. I bought the new iPhone 13 mini. Love this phone. This phone fits in my hand, fits in my pocket. This is great. Love the cameras. And so I bought a one of those cages that goes around it so you can hold it like this, put a light, put a microphone on it, because I want to use it more often because it's convenient. It's easy. What I don't want to be is one of those guys or gals, one of those creators that's out there with a big DSLR with the Gorilla Pod out there creating content. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be someone, and say I can put my Sony on this. This is the Numoa shooting grip. This is very easy to use. It's very inconspicuous, and it does a couple different things. Tripod, selfie stick. It's got all the controls here. So that appeals to me because it makes things easy, fast. It makes things, and even the workflow. On this camera, I take the micro SD card out, throw it in the computer, boom, done. It works. The Sony, sometimes, depending on the format you use, you got to find it in the right file, and it doesn't work as great on my iPad as it does my computer. And I've even been toying around with using a camcorder. This is my dad's, and he asked me to take some video off of the card for him. And this super challenging to try and find your video, and I don't like this is old school. I'm not a fan of this, but I do like the form factor. Super easy. You just flip out the what do you call this thing? The monitor screen, LCD screen. Old. So you flip that out and it's on. It's working. So I like that. That's great. So what I want to know from you is, what prevents you from making your content? What is your thought process going into it? Or do you deliberate? Do you write notes down? Do you take notes? A lot of creators say that they map things out first and then they go and shoot it, but I'm not that deliberate. Maybe I should be. But I'm more of a spontaneous creator. If I get a window, if I have time available, I throw a camera up and I record something. So you tell me, where are you at in your creation, your content creation journey? What stumbling blocks do you come across? What things have you overcome in order to become a better creator? I want this to be a forum for newbies like me to really collaborate, come together and say, hey, this is what I was challenged with, and this is how I overcame it, and this is, just whatever. So you tell me. I've been rambling on for about 12 minutes now, and so thank you for taking the time to listen. I hope you watched it all the way through, because I think this is important for content creators like me, like you, for us to commiserate one to another, because you can't always get what you need from the people who are established, who have 100,000, 200,000 viewers, subscribers, whatever. So sometimes you just need to hear it from someone who is where you are. So with that in mind, I'm Mike. This is Low Def Media. I thank you for taking the time. And, hey, if you liked it, thumbs up. And if you like content like this, hey, go ahead and be a subscriber. I'd really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. So until the next time, I will see you next time.